So, DBD's air quotes Angel Killer is going to be released on the 25th of August. And if you saw my previous video talking about this killer, you already know my thoughts on them and how I really don't think they're gonna last and really be played that much past the initial honeymoon phase. But what I want to focus on today is the boons. You see, boon totems by themselves typically aren't that big of a problem, and usually aren't seen that much because they don't really provide enough to be useful in most scenarios, unless you're playing like a super niche Conviction Soul Guard build, right? You see Boon Steadfast, which is being released with Aurora. I forget her last name. Don't really care. This Steadfast perk, it slows the regression of generators by 50%. And, to add on top of it, gives generators a plus 10% repair speed bonus if they're in range of the boon, right? So you basically have proved thyself, but for all of your teammates and you, and that's not even counting all the extra things you can have like toolboxes, Stego Hyperfocus. I mean, this perk single-handedly is going to be absolutely insane to counter as a killer unless you have Shattered Hope, right? And you're probably thinking, oh, fight, but totems are hard to find. You know, unless you have like extrasensory perception, you're gonna have a hard time finding totems. Maps exist. There's an add-on that reveals the location of totems with said maps. I mean, guys, DBD has become so incredibly survivor-sided. One of the major points of this analytical video series I have going on, this being the last one, is to just showcase how incredibly survivor-sided this game has become. How insanely far this game has strayed from its roots. How it has catered so much to the money bag. It has completely disregarded any respect towards the killer role in any way, shape, and form. Boon totems are about to become so incredibly bad when this killer is released. I'm telling you right now, they're about to become so bad when this killer and survivor are released. I genuinely think it would be a good idea to run Shattered Hope for at least a week. No jokes. Because what's going to happen is you're going to stomp out the boon totem, right? Circle of Healing, Shadow Step, Steadfast, they're going to go away. And the moment you leave, that survivor's going to get right back on that totem, relight it, and they can do that infinitely with no downside. None. And despite perks like Sprint Burst Vigil, right, future fight here. So while making this video, it turns out Vigil ended up being nerfed again, and instead of simply being reduced to a 40% increased recovery rate, it now has been reduced to 30% and also only works with exhaustion. This means that over 90% of what this perk did has ultimately been stripped away entirely. And while this is good news, I'm not quite so sure this is still going to fix most of this game problems. It's definitely a good step in the right direction, absolutely, but it's not going to fix all the problems, and we'll delve a little more into why that is here in a few seconds. Being nerfed, despite very niche perks like Call of Brine having its duration buffed, but not the actual regression speed, despite these things, the game is still going to be miserable to play for the majority of killer players, right? I'm kind of going off the rails here for a second, but I recently took a break from DBD for about a week and a half, and I just came back to it a few days ago. My first day playing it again, I played it for about an hour. I had 4 games in a row, 4 or 5 games in a row, where I just absolutely dominated everybody. It felt like I was going against low MMR babes, right? And then I played a game as Wraith, and I got put against a 4-man, and I think I got a tie. I don't remember. But I decided to go play something else, because it was just getting ridiculous. It started to get ridiculous. All the signs were there. Queue times are getting shorter, which means, you know, less killer players are playing, which means I'm going to be facing more Swifts, so I just got off and played something else. The second day I played it, played for an hour, lost, I think, almost every single game, non-stop Swifts, brand new parts, Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Shoulder the Burden, the list just goes on. The reality is, Behavior Interactive does not care about killer players. They just don't. With Halloween on the horizon, some people are just extremely anti-Ilphonic, and while I get it, dude, while I get they have Predator Hunting Grounds and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, while I get gun medias associated with this, and they quite literally abandon Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I get it. Dude, anything at this point would be better to play than Dead by Daylight. I'm tired of giving this company my money and time when they very clearly don't respect mine at all. That's just the reality of the situation. And to make things even worse, Behavior recently announced they're going to be adding a ping wheel for solo queue Survivor, right? To, quote, shorten the gap between Swift and solo queue. On paper, this sounds good. But as every killer player already knows, killer main, this is not going to be good. Because it's simply going to increase the feeling of going against a Swift, increase the feeling of going against an extremely coordinated squad. It's going to lead to lower kill rates, more losses, and it's going to lead to apathy. It's like, I'm beyond the point of feeling angry for this game. There's a reason why I haven't uploaded any rant videos in a while, and it's because I just don't care anymore. I really don't. Do I love the idea of Dead by Daylight? Yes. Do I love the idea of Dead by Daylight existing, of a bunch of horror licenses existing in one? Yes, I love that. But at the game's core right now, I cannot in any positive manner recommend this to anybody. Unless you want to play a role where you just go against a supposed human killer, right? They may as well be bots at this point. There's just so many palettes, so many second chance perks. You have to literally go out of your way to die, to lose as Survivor in this game. It's just... Survivor is so incredibly easy and mind-numbingly dull. It's extremely boring. But when you play as killer, there are so many different perks you have to think about running through your head constantly. There's really no stop to it. It's just insane, man. The amount of second chances that exist in this game for the Survivor role is absurd, man. And that's what this whole video series has been about, man. And with the addition of the ping wheel, this is only going to get worse. Kill rates are going to go down. Just across the board. It doesn't matter if you're the best DBD killer player in the world. You're going to see survivors start communicating more in the solo queue lobbies, and because of this, they're going to be elevated towards killers who play more sweaty, who play more aggressively, and then they're going to get angry that they keep losing, or lose slightly more, and can't bully the killers as easily. And then it's just going to be this self-eating cycle of behavior buffs survivors in some way, leaves killers with the absolute bare minimum, so they suffer. And it's just like, this is why I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm supporting the competition. This is why I'm looking forward to Halloween the game. I understand why people stick with DBD. I do. DBD is the only game that has all of these different slashers, all of these horror icons in one place. But guess what? When you play them, and you get curb stomped 24/7, you don't feel very good, do you? I know I don't. I know when I play Jason, the guy who literally dies and comes back stronger every single film, the guy who can literally punch someone's head off with a single punch, when I play that guy in DBD, I don't feel like him at all. In fact, I feel like the exact opposite. I feel like John Voorhees, the distant relative cousin, who's just a complete human, has no supernatural powers, and gets beaten to death every single game. That's what I feel like. And in the end, dude, I guess this is probably like the first rant video I've made in a while. I make these videos in the hopes that Behavior Interactive will somehow listen, because they have before. I've thrown ideas around before on how to buff Ghostface, and someone there must have seen it because they ended up implementing it, making him move faster while crouched. Has done nothing, but, I mean, they did hear it, and they put it in the game. Not that it even really matters, but I love the idea of Dead by Daylight. I love the art of the game, like the art style. I love the killers, like the way they're designed. But they are all just so weak, man. They're just so weak. It's an absolute shame. Travesty. In the end, man, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that boon totems are actually going to become a really huge problem? Do you reckon that the ping wheel will do much, if anything? Will it bring solo queue up to a point where it'll actually make any difference? Or do you think, kind of like me, that solo queue survivors are still going to be bad, despite having a ping wheel. Let me know what you think down below. Regardless, if you like the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. God bless y'all. Take care. Peace.